Kunst muss zuerst mal mich begeistern und Gott sei Dank tut sie das. Also wenn ich begeistert werde und merke, das ist inhaltlich fantastisch, dann hoffe ich auch, dass ich einen Beitrag liefern kann, dass dieses tolle Wirken auch nach außen geht. Die Brückenbauerin ist die künstlerische Leitung, die sozusagen versuchen muss, tolle Kunst auf dem höchsten Niveau zu zeigen und gleichzeitig Mittel und Wege zu finden, die einem Publikum zu vermitteln. In welcher Sprache sprechen wir darüber? In welcher Art und Weise sind die Führungen gestaltet? Wen spreche ich an? In welche gesellschaftlichen Schichten ragt meine Vermittlung oder ragt auch meine Werbungsstrategie? Das sind die Aufgaben einer klugen Leitung. Und die sind nicht einfach. Die sind sicher nicht einfach in einer Zeit, wo die Medien so stark auch beschnitten werden, wo der Raum für bildende Kunst in der Berichterstattung immer kleiner wird. Das ist nicht einfach. Deswegen muss Politik und Realität zusammenfinden. Und wir sagen, okay, wo können wir helfen? Wo können wir eben auch diesen generell existierenden Spardruck zum Beispiel zumindest so abflachen, dass sie sagen, wir halten das, was ein großer Gewinn ist in diesen Zeiten, und wir gehen gemeinsam durch diese Krise.
So the framework of the program is, as I described it at my very first press conference, it's focusing on monographic exhibitions that take different forms by artists that haven't previously had institutional solo exhibitions here in Vienna, and they also happen in different scales as well. And so we have 4 new exhibitions like this, and in a way the programmatic focus next year is not these international artists, but actually artists living and working in Vienna, which our largest group survey next year will feature 57 artists living and working in Vienna. It's an exhibition that has a long history in the institution. It was first organised in 2000 under the title Lebt und arbeitet in Wien, and it happened every 5 years until 2015, and we're bringing this exhibition format back to the Kunsthalle. We have, in a way, 2 elements to the public programme. So the part that begins before the exhibitions actually addresses the broader theme for this exhibition, which is living and working in Vienna. What does it mean to live and work in Vienna in 2026? What is the condition of life here? And for this programme, we're not actually just calling on people from the cultural sector or cultural field. We want to address all kinds of different aspects of society here. And so it's a very broad, discursive programme that will run throughout the year and indeed start before the exhibition. So that's a kind of broadly thematic programme. But then when the exhibition starts, of course, we'll have a lot of art on display that we will also want to talk about. And then we have our classic formats of guided tours, of workshops, of discursive talks, and this will also be a part of the exhibition that runs for 6 months. So we start with Shalizeh Namani, a French-Iranian artist whose exhibition from Palais de Tokyo will travel here, and we're also making this exhibition larger by commissioning new works by Shalizeh. She works in sculpture, but the sculptures are made of materials, so it's a kind of soft sculpture. Often she's printing the fabrics herself and referencing different traditions of ornamentation. And then the second solo exhibition is by Guglielmo Castelli. He's an Italian artist, and the exhibition we're making is in collaboration with Castello di Rivoli in Turin. We're showing painting by Guglielmo, 7 new paintings, and also a mural that he's going to paint here on site in Vienna, 25 meters long, when he's here installing at the beginning of next year. And then in the autumn, we open 2 more exhibitions, solo exhibitions, after the Lebt und arbeitet in Wien runs throughout the summer. In autumn, we open exhibitions by Tiffany Shah, an artist born in Hong Kong and living and working in New York. She's a very important filmmaker who's been extremely influential to a lot of young artists practicing in moving image. And we're showing a new film called Overt Listening, which we're co-commissioning with KW Institute of Contemporary Art in Berlin. And finally, the last solo exhibition of the year is by Magali Royce, a Dutch artist based in London who works in sculpture and often combines artisanal traditions of making things with different materials with machine processes. And often her works take the form of vessels that she plays with a lot of different histories of design, of fine arts, traditions, and she's making new works inspired by the history of applied arts here in Vienna. I love to challenge people. I love to bring practices that I find, that I think are really changing the discourse in contemporary art. And we're standing amongst the exhibition by Richard Hawkins, who I think is, in a way, an artist's artist. He's someone who's been admired for a very long time, especially also by artists here in Europe, but there hasn't been a large survey of his work like this here in Europe ever. There's been a couple of monographic surveys, but nothing on this scale. And so it's always, there's always a risk that something can fail, but I've been overwhelmed by extremely positive response from audiences and also critical response. And I find this really encouraging for the Kunsthalle Wien, because it means there's a space for contemporary art discourse in the city. There's a public that's interested and curious and open to contemporary art.